Alright, happy lockdown everybody, it's Khash again, and I'm back to doing a ranking video. I've kind of been putting these off, mostly because I couldn't be bothered, and I've spent a lot of the week just doing nothing, you know. So today, we're going to go into the Ozzy Osbourne discography, not Sabbath, but the Ozzy sort of solo stuff. But before I get onto that, I've noticed a few comments, just people saying, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. This is a terrible review." Blah 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 blah. Right. Firstly, it's not a review of the albums. It's my ranking. They're in the order that I like them. You know, everyone's different. And yeah, you know, when people say you don't know what you're talking about, I've listened to them. I like them or I don't like them. And if there's something that I don't like, for example, one of them was on the Bon Jovi stuff, the Bon Jovi ranking that I did. And in there, I pointed out a simple fact that they reused a vocal melody, like later on in their career, and I didn't like that. So that's that. You know, this is my ranking, the order which I like them. That's it. Okay. So don't get all up in arms. You know, we all have different opinions. So should we get onto it? Yeah. If you want to do your own ranking, do your own ranking. They're probably different, and it's always nice to see how people would rank them. And I have had some people commenting with their ranking order, and that's great. You know, it's great to see, like, oh wow, you know, you like that one better than this, or so on, you know, vice versa, whatever. Anyway, onto it. Right, I'm going to throw in this one. It kind of would be at the bottom pile anyway. It's not technically an album. Well, it kind of is, but it's a covers album. So this is the studio discography, worst to best. This will be at the bottom. Undercover, right? This came out in 2005. Right? Now the thing that stood out for me, well, I don't know whether you say stood out, but what I remember this album for is Changes. You know, it was a big hit, it was a single, and I didn't like it. And so I put off buying this album for years. I think I finally got this in around about 2010. But it's not a bad album, considering it's all covers. I re-listened to some of the songs today. Alright, I was thinking, like, you know, I'm going to throw this in as I was going through them, because I got loads of live ones, and you know, where I think it was Speak of the Devil, you know, the Sabbath stuff and whatnot. Yeah, so I was going through, I thought, this one, maybe I should have thrown in Speak of the Devil, but that'll be somewhere further down the pile, because I can't like that. Anyway, right, so I was listening to some of this, and some of these songs, these covers are really good. Some of them, I really like the cover of Fire. I think that one suits Ozzy's voice great. You know, you got Rocky Mountain Way, In My Life, Mississippi Queen, Go Now, Woman. That's actually a good cover. I don't really like the original song. I don't like the song really. I'm not a massive fan of the Beatles and Beatles solo stuff. So as we know, it's John Lennon, so Beatles solo. 21st Century Schizoid Man, All the Young Dudes. That's an okay cover. For what it's worth, I knew this song, and I never knew what it was called. So when that came on, I was like, I know this, and then it sort of clicked, like, oh, it's that song. Good Times, Sunshine of Your Love. I'm not a massive fan of that cover. Fire, great cover. Working Class Hero, again, Lennon. It's okay. Sympathy for the Devil. Don't think it's that much of a great cover. And then Changes, featuring Kelly. Really, personally, I think that's the weakest song on the album. I don't like it. I didn't like it at the time. I like the original, kind of. It's not one of the greatest songs, but it's better than this cover, even though it's the same singer. You know what I mean? It's weird, but yeah. So that would be at the bottom of my pile if this was that kind of thing. You know, going through it all and like including the live albums and stuff like that. Nah, I can't be asked with that. Anyway, so going into the actual studio discography, at the bottom, this is in the height of the kind of music which I like. Well, I don't know, it depends on my mood. Some days I just want to somewhat thrashy and heavy. Some days I'll listen to something like Poison. It depends on my mood. But No Rest for the Wicked, right? 1988. Okay. The thing about this album is that it seems kind of dairy milk. You know, it seems like it's missing something. All the standout songs for me are the singles, really, Miracle Man and Crazy Babies. And even those ain't that great in comparison to what's been released before. So I've rarely come towards this album, and I was really intrigued by this album before I heard it. I really wanted to get this because a lot of great albums were coming out around, like, well, what I thought were great albums, 86 to 89. It seemed like a great period in music, in the rock, metal, whatever you want to call it, category, the alternative category. You got Miracle Man, Devil's Daughter is alright, but it seems a bit choppy. That's the thing about that, is I like Devil's Daughter, but it just seems choppy. It's like the director's cut is cut out like a bar here, and then it goes into maybe the solo. I can't remember which way around, but it's missing something. Crazy Babies, Breaking All the Rules, Bloodbath in Paradise. That seems to open with. Do you know what? I can't remember the Sabbath song. I can't remember the name of the Sabbath song, but it's the one with the Woodley bit. Like dun dun dun. I can't remember it. I think it might. I don't know. I think it might be Sabbath, as in Black Sabbath. I don't know. Fire in the Sky, Tattooed Dancer, and Demon Alcohol. Wait, why have I got an extra track on it? This is the only copy of the album I've got. I'm sure there's an extra track on here which isn't listed. Who knows? Maybe it's not listed on the back. Anyway, I can't be asked to open it up. But yeah, that's the bottom, unfortunately. And it is a bit of a weird artwork. Ozzy with his perm. Didn't quite suit. Right, next. Again, this next one was, I didn't like it at the time. I've tried to revisit it. I've tried to go back into it, and I can't get into it. Down to Earth from 2001, I think it was. Yeah, 2001. I can't get into it, and again, I like gets me through it, so it's all right. And you know, Facing Hell, it's all right. There's a lot of songs which they seem all right, but again, it seems to lack something. And then there's Dreamer, which was the single. Well, it wasn't the only single, but that was the one that seemed to get most airplay, or video airplay. I remember an interview, like behind the scenes of making the video or whatever, and Ozzy had this stupid costume which even he hated, with these stupid little bat wings on. But yeah, that just didn't stand out for me. This album just doesn't do much for me. You know, it gets me through Facing Hell, Dreamer, No Easy Way Out, That I Never Had, You Know Part 1, Junkie, Running Out of Time, Black Illusion, Alive, Can You Hear Them? Oh, that's it. And then I was going to start reading the produced by Tim Palmer, but yeah, it doesn't. You know, even to me, the artwork doesn't scream Ozzy. You know, I'm not sure. I suppose it falls kind of in line with my next pick. It does kind of. It's similar artwork wise. Alright, so there's not much that I can really say about this. It just didn't grab me at the time, and I've tried revisiting it a few times, and it doesn't grab me at all. But it grabs me a bit more than No Rest for the Wicked. Next, we've got Osmosis. Okay, so you see what I'm saying about the similar kind of artwork. Well, it's kind of similar. Still a guy on the front, or an alien in that case, but still human form. I was kind of intrigued by all the bits of the face in there, and the title, yeah, the title of the album, Osmosis. I'm working on an EP called Cosmosis, but Osmosis means something different. And obviously he spelt it with a Z to reference his name, with a double Z, sorry. I've done it with a single Z to reference my old nickname. Alright, so this came out in '95, and it's got something, but it's also missing a lot. You know, Ozzy was doing his No More Tours tour, so that's why I'm thinking that maybe it's a little bit half-hearted, because like this was the retirement album technically. You know, Perry Mason, which I like it. You know, I Just Want You, I like it. You know, Ghost Behind My Eyes, it's all right. Thunder Underground, See You on the Other Side, Tomorrow, Denial, My Little Man, My Jekyll Doesn't Hide, Old LA Tonight. Then I've got bonus tracks on this. I don't know whether they're on every issue, but you got The World's Falling Down, which is alright. And then Amy, I understand it. I understand what it's about, but I don't think it's a great song. Yeah, what I do like about these remastered CDs is they got this sort of passage on the back, giving a brief detail about what was going on at the time. And yeah, the back artwork is kind of nice. Maybe that should have been the cover art. Who knows? But yeah, that's that one. Next up, there might be a few people not liking this, but Diary of a Madman, 1982, the year I was born. Again, it's got the passage on the back, and yeah, this is classic Ozzy, but it's down there because I don't know. I just don't reach to it. You know, I do like a lot of the songs. You know, Over the Mountain, Flying High Again, You Can't Kill Rock and Roll, Believer, Little Dolls, Tonight, SATO, and Diary of a Madman, and then you got I Don't Know Live. I like the cover art, must admit. Do like that. But his second solo album, and I would listen to this more than Osmosis, and you know the way I work it. I listen to this one more than the others. Anything underneath, it's in that sort of order, and this is why it's there. It does and it doesn't stand out. That's why, really. You know, I'm kind of tired of hearing Over the Mountain, and maybe that's why I don't reach it anymore. There we go. So there we go. Also, it's kind of weird. Ozzy looks like he's got a shaved head there. I know there was a phase where he shaved his head. I can't remember when it was, and that just really didn't suit, in my opinion. Next up, it's the latest release, Ordinary Man. Okay, there's a lot of hard, heavy riffs and stuff going on. It's an intriguing album cover, very intriguing, and I like the metallic stuff. I have a bit of a soft spot for metallic stuff on the artwork. I don't know why, but you know, Straight to Hell, it's great. It just kicks in straight in there. All My Life is great. Goodbye, that was something I wanted to say about this album. A lot of lyrically on a lot of these songs, it seems like a final album. If you listen to the lyrics, there's a lot of references to like goodbye and stuff. And when I first heard it, I was thinking maybe this is the last album and he's doing his goodbyes, he's doing his These Days of Our Lives type thing. You know, the title track featuring Elton John, I really like it, but again, it does sort of say that it's kind of saying goodbye in its own way. But yeah, that's my favourite song on this album, oddly enough. Under the Graveyard, that one didn't grab me as much. I know it was a single, but it didn't grab me as much as like Straight to Hell. Eat Me, good song. Today Is the End. Scary Little Green Men, I kind of like that because it's nice and cheesy. Holy for Tonight. It's a Raid. Okay, this features Post Malone. Right. Post Malone, I don't even know who he is. I'll be honest with you. Don't know. I did a bit of reading, and oh yeah, that was something. This isn't the final album. Apparently, there's a follow-up in the making. So that's why I was thinking, like, it seems like a final album, but it's not. Yeah, It's a Raid. It seems to have this punk vibe. It's okay. I don't think it fits with Ozzy vocals, but it's okay. Right, one of the weaker songs on the album. And then you have a bonus track on this edition. I don't know whether it's on all editions or worldwide or whatever. Bonus track. Take What You Want with Post Malone and Travis Scott. It's a bag of wank, right? That shouldn't even be on the album. It's crap. Ozzy shouldn't have been on it. You know, you just hear this, I don't know, auto-tune, phasing a robotic effect on the vocals, because it's like this Post Malone guy, he takes a lot of the verses, well, most of the song, and then you got Ozzy for the chorus, pretty much. Like I said, Post Malone is on It's a Raid, and that's okay, but this one it's a whole new genre. It doesn't work. It really does not work for me. I know there are people like, oh, it's brilliant, Post Malone's doing great, you know, he's working with this guy called Ozzy Osbourne, you know, the old cliche thing, but it doesn't do Ozzy any credit. It probably did Post Malone a lot of credit, but you know, this on an Ozzy album, it's a bag of wank. Had it not been for the rest of the album, if the whole album was him and Post Malone, man, it'd be thrown out. It wouldn't be in this list. It'd be straight in the bin. You know, I'd do it on camera, just throw it. The bin's over there, just throw it. One thing I don't like about this, I don't mind the fold-out sleeves, but I don't like when it's like that. When the CD is like that, because it's such a bitch to get out. Same with the book. You know, you don't want to damage the book, and it's so hard to get them out. I don't like that, but all in all, it's not a bad album if you scrap the last two tracks. It's pretty good. Scrap the last two tracks. They're not even fillers. They're smegma. Right, next up, it's getting better. Getting better. Scream. Oh, hang on. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Because this latest album, 2020. Yeah, you know that. Right, 2010. So, big gap. 10-year gap between these two. As you can see, that one's signed by Ozzy. Got a friend, Ozzy was doing a sign-in thing in Birmingham, and for some reason I couldn't get in. I can't remember why. And saw a friend in the queue and sort of gave her the album, like, could you get this one signed? So she did that for me, which is great. What is that? Ah, 50th anniversary. Yeah, I like that. Don't mind the album art. Really don't mind it. I kind of like it. I can't get this back in. Stupid things. Whoa, it's weird. What the hell? What is that? That's weird. I haven't looked at this for a long time. Whoa. Yeah, it's been 10 years. And I've only just sort of noticed. Can you see the shiny bits? Yeah, as I opened it, I saw all the shiny bits on the, wherever the back part is. There. You can just about see the shiny. I thought, oh no, something's been spilt in it, and then I noticed that it works out to a bit of a picture. Like I said, it's been 10 years since I've really listened to this album, because 10 years ago I went on a mad Ozzy spree. Couldn't get enough. It was all I listened to, up to, you know, everything up to that point, particularly the live albums, because the live album, Live and Loud, is brilliant. I love that album. Okay, just put this in. Oh, it's going in now. Right. Yeah. So, oh man, what I don't like about this is you can barely see the track listing because of the shiny. Okay, so you got Let Me Die, Let Me Hear You Scream, the single. Great song. It was like a great reform, return to just classic sounding. It sounds great. Well, I wouldn't say classic sounding, but it's got power and it's got sing-along ability. Very crowd pleaser, soul sucker. Life won't wait. It's true. Digging me down, crucify, fearless, time. I want more. Latimer's mercy, and I love you all. So in a way, possibly at the time I would have thought this was maybe a goodbye album with the last song being called I Love You All, but obviously it's not. Although we had to wait a decade, but yeah, it's a good album. I like it. Don't like the fact there's a sticker on the front. Just there's a sticker. Don't like that. But other than that, I can't like it. Although, I'm trying to think. Right, if I can get a close up, if you look at Ozzy's face there, it looks like the love child of an orgy between Alan Rickman, Skeletor from the Master of the Universe movie, and the guy who played Death in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Strange. Right, this one. I really like this album art. Black Rain, 2007. Love this album art. When I first got this album, I got what I thought was a special edition. It wasn't, and it was a cardboard sleeve, very much in the same vein as this one, except it wouldn't have had that flap there. It was just like that. So it had the same problem with the CD, and really annoying. There was nothing bonus about that sleeve, but I had the album, and then I got this because I love the artwork. Okay, so you got Not Going Away is a great song. I Don't Want to Stop. I got tired of hearing it, to be honest. Black Rain, I really enjoy it. Lay Your World on Me is okay. The Almighty Dollar, it's alright. 11 Silver, Civilize the Universe, Here For You, Countdown's Begun. Trapdoor is nice and cheesy, and it's a great way to close the album. I think, yeah, it does seem a bit dark, but I enjoy it. It's heavy. It just seems heavy, and not so much dirty heavy, but good heavy. Sometimes dirty heavy is good, but this is a good balance between dirty heavy and good heavy. It's nice. I do like this album. It's not my favourite, but I do like it, particularly pre-millennium, post-millennium, whatever the hell. Yeah, since the millennium. Hang on. Right, so as I was saying, I had to pause it. There's a load of stuff going on. It happens. Right, next up on my list is The Ultimate Sin. People will disagree with this because it seems like in a lot of people's opinions, this is the worst album. But I kind of enjoy it, right? I love the album. Alright. It's as good, album art wise, it's as good as Black Rain. I like that. I don't know why. I like that because it's all like mythical stuff. You know, you can't really see it. That's one thing I don't like about these re-release CDs. You know, you got the album art and it's tiny. The thing I thought was a bit stupid was the Ozzy doing that. You know, if that wasn't part of it, then yeah. Do like the album art, and I do like a lot of the songs on it. This was 1986. Okay, you got The Ultimate Sin title track. It's a good song. Okay, Secret Loser. It's catchy, right? And you remember that for some reason. You just remember that song. Never Know Why. It's alright. Thank God for the Bomb. Not really a fan of that one. Never. Lightning Strikes. Oh, this is annoying because I'm having to turn it around. What was I? Killer of Giants. Fool Like You. And what is widely perceived as a bonus track, because I don't think it was on the actual record, is Shot in the Dark, or as me and Pete used to call it, Shit in the Dark. Although we kind of liked it. I still do kind of like it. It's very catchy, and it does have that whole 80s presence. You know, it was 86 that the whole hair thing was kicking off, and it seems to have a bit of an influence of that. You know, the catchy songs, and it just seems to incorporate that, and I like it. So, you know, 1986, Ultimate Sin, it's there. It's a good album. Just give it a chance. You know, give it a few more listens. You know, if you steer clear of going back to things like Blizzard of Oz or Bark at the Moon, just give this a listen. Over a period of time, it's a lot better than people believe. Well, that's what I think, anyway. Anyway, next up, speaking of Bark at the Moon. Alright. 83. Damn, I always thought this was 86 for some reason. And I thought that was 87. Yeah. 1983. Bark at the Moon. It's great. Killer riffs. Right? You got Bark at the Moon. You're No Different. Now You See It. No, you don't. Rock and Roll Rebel. Center of Eternity. So Tired. Slow Down. Waiting for Darkness. And there's bonus tracks on here. Spiders. One Up the B-side. Right? It's album art wise, I kind of like it. It's, I suppose it was really impressive back in the day, but I do like the painting effect. But as for this, I think this was J.K. Lee. Right? And it's got just the riff on, particularly on Bark at the Moon, just that main intro riff. It just hooks you straight away, and then you're just enticed to listen to the whole album, and it's a really good album. You know, okay, probably the worst part about this artwork is that, and then it looks there like Ozzy's got kind of short hair. It doesn't really suit, does it? But you know, that was his choice. Whatever. He was messed up on a lot of things. But there was a lot going on. You know, Randy Rhoads had just passed not long after, or before, shall I say. And so a lot of this was in the wake of that. And it's a good album. Very, very good album. So, Bark at the Moon. And this was the kind of re-release I like. This is a re-release, obviously. And this is the version I prefer, as opposed to them versions, where it's a small picture of the original album art. I don't like that. Don't like it when they shrink the album art on the cover. Pointless. Next up, there's going to be a lot of disagreements. A lot of disagreements. Because it is the debut Blizzard of Oz. Alright? 1980, I believe. Was it 80? Nah, it couldn't have been. Maybe it was 80, 81, I can't remember. This was the first to feature Randy Rhoads. It doesn't say, man. It doesn't say. I can't remember for the life of me. Iconic artwork. Very iconic. Weird centerfold. Very weird. Very weird choice. But what can you say? What can you say? And you know, this is all full. Whereas Bark at the Moon is, you know, they've got their passages and a little bit in the book. This just seems like it's got loads more to say. Obviously, this was a breakthrough album. Let's just check. Yes, it was 81. It was 81 when this came out. Obviously, everyone knows this album. Do I really need to go through the track listing? I don't know. I might do, but yeah. One of the most, I think, is an underrated song is the opener to the album, I Don't Know. I really enjoy that, and I prefer it over Crazy Train because I'm absolutely sick of Crazy Train, which is the next song. Goodbye to Rome was alright. D. You know. Suicide Solution. There are stories about the effects. There was an effect at some point during the song which sounds like Ozzy saying shoot, and that got him into a load of legal crap when the PMRC came about and all that. So it's good stuff, you know. Good, funny crap. a real bad situation for everyone in the music industry, and with the PMRC. But yeah, there was an interview where Ozzy was saying about, he was pointing out that effect, which sounds like he's saying shoot, and there was I don't know, some guy, some official suit guy, is like, you can hear it say, get the gun, shoot, shoot, shoot. It's like, no, you can't hear get the gun. Yes, it does sound like shoot, but get the gun, no. Alright. What was this? Was this around the same time as the Priest thing? Obviously, the PMRC was particularly inspired by the Priest Do It, which I have heard the Do It. It took many years. I think I heard it finally in 2018. Alright, so this is a little side note. Judas Priest with famous subliminal messaging, which was just the way that Rob was singing. Play it backwards, it sounds like Do It. I could never hear it. I was playing the record backwards, I could not hear it. Tried reversing the CD, still couldn't hear it. I finally found somewhere online which captured it, and it's like, it does kind of sound like Do It. Do what? Get a job. Doesn't necessarily say shoot yourself in the head. But yeah, and ironically enough, that song was a cover. But yeah, this is going back to Ozzy. Blizzard of Oz, iconic album. Where the hell was I? Suicide Solution. Mr. Crowley, great song. Don't really want to hear it that much anymore. I don't mind it. No Bone Movies, bit of a tongue-in-cheek thing going on. Revelation, Mother Earth, Steal Away the Night, right? And then You Looking at Me, Looking at You, which was a bonus track. If you look at it, it looks like he was having a lot of fun during that period, and you can understand why. The Sabbath thing weren't working, and he's finally got his own thing together. He's getting his life sorted out, and now he's got his project, his Blizzard of Oz project, which he'd been working on for so many years. Apparently, he was wearing Blizzard of Oz t-shirts on the Never Say Die tour. I can't remember where I heard that. I did hear it somewhere, I don't know where. Weird thing about the 80s albums, and I think it was a bit of a shitter, was the bassist, one of the main the bassist for Blizzard and that next one. I've just dropped my comb. That's my beard comb, not my comb. I have a brush for that. I have a comb for that. It's only because I can't be asked to get rid of it. Speak of the Devil. No. Diary of a Madman, that was it. The bassist, Rob Daisley. Right, he also did work on the following few albums, like Bark at the Moon, Ultimate Sin, No Rest for the Wicked, and No More Tears. And because him and the drummer, can't remember his name, Luke Lee Kinsley, something like that, they sued the management successfully for royalties, and then later in the 90s they tried to sue the Ozzy management for the same sort of thing. To that effect, the Ozzy management I don't know if they erased it, but they took out those original tracks and replaced them with Rob Trujillo, sorry I can't pronounce your name, man, the bassist from Metallica, and someone else on drums, Mike something. So they redid the bass and the drums for everything that they'd worked on, and then they released the remastered stuff, which I think is a bit of a shitter. But it's one of them situations where stop coming after me for money. This is what we're going to do, but we just want you to stop. You got your royalties. Well, maybe he got his royalties. Maybe they got their royalties. Maybe they didn't. Don't know. Music management, industry management. Don't know. It's the performing. That's all I care about. There is an interview on the Greatest Hits, Ozzy's, I think it was his first greatest hits album, double disc thingy, big cross on the front. Interview from '88, and he was saying about when he was in Sabbath that all of us, you know, they were just four guys doing their thing, you know, playing music, recording music, and just getting wrecked. Then suddenly, the whole industry, you know, there's all this management crap to have to deal with, and they didn't know what they were doing. And so, yeah, that's me in a sense. You know, I can make music, but when it comes to management, industry stuff, I don't know. Right, so my number one, if you're an Ozzy fan, you'll know what it is. No More Tears. Okay, 1991. I really enjoy this album. I'm not a fan of the artwork. I think the artwork's a bit shit. Especially those stupid wings. Stupid little wings there. Yeah, is there a bigger... No. They even focused on it in the plot. They even focused on that just to point out how stupid it was. Maybe if it didn't have them wings, maybe it would have been alright, but you don't really see them from afar, and no, don't like it. But on the whole, it seems like this album is the combination of everything from Bark at the Moon going up to this album. Now, maybe not so much Bark at the Moon, but definitely Ultimate Sin and No Rest for the Wicked. Yeah, everything sort of, this is the combination of it, whatever the word is, this has it all, and it's just great, you know, even with traits of Blizzard of Oz. Okay, opens up with Mr. Tinker Train. It's a great song, catchy. Then my favourite song on this album is I Don't Want to Change the World. The thing about this is I heard the live version first, and the live version is much better. It's still great, the studio version is still great, but the live version just seems so much more better. I don't know whether it could be because it's slightly faster, slightly rawer, I don't know. I'm not quoting Ozzy there. Alright, and then you got Mama, I'm Coming Home. Bit tired of hearing it. Nice song, but bit tired of hearing it. Desire, that's a good song. Good song. No More Tears, the title track. That bass line, that intro bass line, with the keyboards that come in, it all works so perfectly. It's just iconic. Yes, I can still listen to that song. Weirdly enough, I've heard it so many times, but I can still listen to it, and I still think it's a great song. I've lost myself. There we go. There we go. Oh no. There we go. Sin, or S-I-N. It's alright. Hellraiser, classic, which was covered by Motorhead, and I think the Motorhead version is more, what's the word? More well known, weirdly enough. I mean, I'd heard the Motorhead version before I heard the Ozzy version. I'm like, Ozzy covered Motorhead, and then it turned out that I had it the wrong way around. Still great, still a great song, but the Motorhead song does do it a lot of justice, and it was in one of my favourite Hellraiser movies. It was in Hellraiser 3. I like the first 3 Hellraiser movies, just to point that out, plus number 7. The rest of them are a bag of wank. Time After Time, it's okay. It's okay. Zombie Stomp. The weird thing about that is the intro. That sort of tribal drum beat. I was listening to it earlier today. Yeah, I was meant to be listening to all the stuff way down the bottom just to give it another chance, see if they'd changed place. And I don't think they did. I can't remember. But Poison ripped off that tribal drum beat for the opening track for their Native Tongue album. I think the song is called The Native Tongue. Yeah, Native Tongue Scream, yeah. First track is The Native Tongue, it's got this tribal drum beat going on, and that's exactly what is at the beginning of Zombie Stomp. I was always intrigued by that, Zombie Stomp, because it's a bit of a cheesy title. Well, I liked it. Then you've got AVH, which I never knew what it stood for. It's a good song, right? It's It stands for alcohol, Valium, and hashish. Hashish is not a word that I use. Right, that's why I have trouble remembering it. But it's a good song. It's all about the addiction and all that stuff. And then you've got Road to Nowhere. It's nice, very nice. Nice way to wrap up the album. I'm not saying it's a nice, but it's alright. It's a good song. Okay. That's where that logo came from. But yeah, 1991, No More Tears. This is my favourite Ozzy album. And maybe because yes, it's very commercial in its own right. It's very commercial, but it's forgotten. It's forgotten way over Blizzard of Oz. Everyone remembers Blizzard of Oz, Bark at the Moon. No one ever seems to remember this, and it's great. Definitely check that one out. Anyway, that'll do. That's my ranking. My ranking. No one else's ranking. It's not an official ranking of the Ozzy CDs. You know, I just tried to stack them up. Stack them up all nicely, put them down, and they shift out of place. Sod to law. Right, so that's that. I hope you've enjoyed it. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the bell. The choice is yours. You know, play your cards right and all that lot. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. I've been Khash Knight. Catch you in the next video. Mam Tabula. And don't forget to stay safe.